Part 378. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3771. Moreover, they don't understand the language of the Protoss, and they are also speechless when they are encountered by those Protoss cultivators at the moment. He was questioned by the Protoss, but he couldn't understand anything, so he could only laugh along with him. This idiot knew there was something wrong, and he was immediately arrested. The origin of this group of people is unknown. Protoss language. They don't seem to understand us. They are foreigners. Kill. Kill. Kill them. They are uneasy and kind. Kill them. Speed up. Kill without mercy. The Protoss called for friends, and the situation suddenly surged. As for Fang Fan, he also howled a few times, which can be regarded as adding bricks and tiles. As for those spies, they were basically torn apart. This is life. You get what you plant. It's useless to choose such a fate. Husband, do you want to go directly to the city? Husband, I think it's still too reckless. These Protoss cultivators hate us very much. Once we let them know of our existence, they will definitely kill us regardless. We'll be in danger then. My husband, think twice. Chu Ceci groaned, and stood aside, her eyes trembled involuntarily as she spoke. It's not that I'm afraid at the moment, I just feel that I need to be more cautious. They come, the security. Besides, you've already reached here, so it's impossible to retreat. Go ahead. As for what happens next, we'll talk about it later. The corners of Fang Fan's mouth slightly raised, looking at the familiar city of Tianlin City, his heart jumped up silently. While speaking, his thoughts were full of thoughts, and his consciousness was expanding little by little. In a few words, everything is the most real idea. The feeling is sweeping, the idea is real. It was the first time to come to Tianlin City of the Protoss, and everything was strange. The second time I came here, I seemed to be familiar with the road. Coming to the gate of the city, the defenders here have increased significantly. The silver-armored soldiers at the gate were surrounded by defenders, and their formation had already been set up, as if they were about to come out if they were not careful. There were not so many defenders when we first came here. The guards at this city gate have increased several times. Boy Fang Fan, the fact that you looted the inner vault of the city lord's mansion last time made them vigilant. Now even a city gate is so heavily guarded. It looks like this, isn't the defense of the city lord's mansion to be tighter? Steady, you really have to be steady. Don't wander easily. It's no small matter. If we are not careful, we will become the target of public criticism. Boy Fang Fan, I feel that Tianlin City has no hope of looting. Or change to a Protoss city. You can't catch a sheep and keep pulling its wool. At that time, there will really be an accident at that time. Once something happens, it's really over. Or should we withdraw? Bai Piao shrank his head, looked forward at the moment, couldn't help taking a deep breath, his eyes trembled slightly. Anxious hearts are gathering at this moment. It would be unrealistic to say that there is no feeling at all. At this moment, the situation is indeed a little unstable. If you are not careful, you will completely pull your hips. Need to stick to the overall situation. This is true. Withdraw. Go now. It's all here, I must go in and see the situation. Don't think too much about it. Don't talk for a while. Follow me in. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes, and a dangerous aura gradually swept over his body. At this moment, there can be no slack. The footsteps gradually became elegant, and the eyes gradually became firm. This time, let me tell someone more about my thoughts. It is more than words. Slowly expand, the true meaning of this is self-evident. Who? Where did it come from? Where do you live? Do you have an identity token? As soon as Fang Fan arrived at the gate of the city, a group of city guards rushed over, staring at Fang Fan and others. For a moment, everyone seemed a little nervous. In this situation, if you are not careful, you will completely pull your hips. Danger is slowly sweeping in. Fang Fan was the only one who could understand the language of the Protoss. The others just saw the look of these city guards staring at each other, but they didn't know what they were talking about. It's just an instant preparation for a full-scale battle. Whenever there is something wrong, go up and do it. This time the demeanor is particularly true. Thoughts are gathering in the mind, and ideas are also being fully expanded. I'm going to the City Lord's mansion. I'm on business for the City Lord's mansion. This is my identity token. Fang Fan's eyes shrank for a while. The defense was indeed tight enough. It is so difficult to enter a city. It can only be said that it is even more difficult for the spies of the Allied forces to break into Tianlin City to obtain information. It's not the slightest bit difficult. Even those Allied spies have learned the Protoss language, but such things as identity information cannot be accurately fabricated. The token that Fang Fan took out was given to him by Mrs. Cathy, the 17th wife of the Lord of Tianlin City. When I gave it to him at the time, it was mainly in case I encountered inspections when I went out of the city, and I might give multiple excuses. I didn't expect it to be used at this moment. People from the City Lord's mansion. What mission are you performing? The whole city is under martial law recently. Have you heard of any arrangements at the City Lord's mansion? The captain of the city guard frowned, looking a little suspicious. But at this moment, the token in Fang Fan's hand cannot be faked. It is the property of the City Lord's mansion. Asshole! Fang Fan slapped him with a big mouth. He must be full of momentum at this time. When is it your turn to question the Lord City Master? Roll. Fang Fan swept over with a piercing gaze. The momentum swept in place, and there was still a sense of oppression for a while. The captain of the city guard opened his mouth, wanting to say something, but the words came to his mouth, but he couldn't come out. This can be called a hammer. Immediately, my brain was buzzing. The other ones have nothing to say, their messy hearts are trembling crazily in front of them. The captain of the city guard army was beaten at this moment, so he was naturally very upset, and wanted to come over to settle the score, but was stopped by the two city guard soldiers around him. Captain, this person holds the token of the City Lord's mansion and is so arrogant and domineering. He is not an ordinary person. It's too offending, and it's not good for us. If this matter is brought up, it will be more serious. Captain, or else, let's forget it. Don't do it, don't do it. This matter is indeed serious. Maybe there is something confidential at the City Lord's mansion. We ask too much and it's not good for us. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3772. Those who know current affairs are Junja. Those soldiers of the Protoss City Guard still knew this truth well. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to say such light words. What they said like this virtually relieved Fang Fan of the pressure. For a moment, Fang Fan stood where he was, his eyes flickering slightly. There is no need to feel any urgency at this moment. As for the squad leader of the Tianlin City Guards, he gradually came to his senses at this moment, with a look of panic on his face. Almost missed a major event. What does a little guy like him care about so much? He has the token of the City Lord's mansion in his hand, and he intercepted a hammer. If he offends the people above, he will be unable to eat and walk around. My lord, please. My lord, please come in. Just now I was blind to Taishan, my fault, my fault. The captain of the city guards showed a flattering look on his face, lowered his head, and dared not say another word. At this moment, if you continue to toss, you can only say that you are too ignorant. Consciousness collapsed a little bit, and thoughts leaped across the board. Fang Fan nodded his head pretending to be aloof, with a firm manner. But at the moment, he was relieved. This level is almost over. Just as Fang Fan and the others were about to go in, a beautiful carriage galloped over from a distance. Snored. How do you people work? Is the gate of the city so blocked? Also, aren't you city guards? Why do you nod and bow to these people? Do you guys eat dry food? Relying on you, how can you keep the gate of the city? On the carriage, a young girl in purple clothes came down, with bright eyes and bright teeth, about 17 or 18 years old, without much jewelry on her body, but there was a trace of nobility in her body. Temperament is hard to say, a lot of it is really born. Miss Bella. Miss Bella, please come in. Damn it, you blocked Miss Bella's way. Seeing the face of the purple-clothed girl, the little commander of the city guard immediately panicked, and then hurried over. The expression of horror on his face was beyond words. A small heart began to vibrate leisurely, and the small broken steps immediately started to move. Obviously, this girl's identity is not ordinary. Snored. Again. Who are those guys? Does it look proud? Bella, the girl in purple, glanced at Fang Fan, Chu Sisi, and the others, then said calmly. Chu Sisi, Lena, and Bai Piao couldn't understand the language of the Protoss at all, so they acted indifferently at this time. But Fang Fan couldn't help turning his eyes around. Something is not quite right. The situation is going to be unstable. The situation is a bit broken. If you are not careful, you will have to pull your hips in an all-round way. At a time like this, there must be no slack. If something bad was going to happen, it might really be on this girl. It is no ordinary person who can make the captain of the city guards so flattering. Miss Bella? Her father must be in a high position in Tianlin City. The key is how Fang Fan should face this girl at this moment. If the young girl left immediately, that would be fine, everyone will live in peace. But looking at the girl in purple clothes, Fang Fan and the others seemed quite interested. This matter is troublesome. If it is true that Fang Fan and others' identities start to be investigated, Fang Fan will be exposed in an instant. The situation is not quite right. If you are not careful, you will have to pull your hips in an all-round way. The sense of ritual must be controlled. Miss Bella, these are also from the City Lord's mansion. Haven't you seen it? This is the special envoy of the City Lord's mansion, who is on a special mission. The captain of the City Guard Army nodded and bowed his head. While speaking, his eyes drifted slightly, and the corners of his mouth were raised. This time the gesture is in place, let alone tell anyone. Everything looks different. The City Lord's mansion? Special envoy? Just you. What mission are you performing? Why does it feel like I haven't seen you before? Are you from my father? Bella, the girl in purple, stepped forward, and then looked at Fang Fan. Her expression and posture were different. Fang Fan quickly started brainstorming. If you can't pass this level, it's really over. At that time, the whole world will collapse in an all-round way. Die before leaving school? Will it be blocked at this gate? Fang Fan's eyes wandered slightly, and his brain felt buzzing. Bells and whistles. What's next? It's a little difficult. At the moment, we can only see the tricks. Miss Bella naturally doesn't know such a small person as me. Miss Bella, please. If Miss Bella is fine, I'll go back and report back. Fang Fan also pretended to be flattering. Anyway, at this time, he wanted to be as humble as possible. This is the purest and most authentic gesture. Very solid. Now is to do a full camouflage. Once the camouflage fails, it will completely pull the hips. The situation is not right. The mind should also be pressed down. Etc. Go back and return. So you want to go back to the city lord's mansion. Okay. Miss Ben is going back too, let's go back together. Ah. Are there many beauties behind you? What's the matter? Are you trying to recruit beautiful women for my father? You bastards. I know how to curry favor with my father in this way. My father's body will be destroyed by you bastards sooner or later. Bella, the girl in purple, was biting her red lips, and she seemed particularly dissatisfied at the moment. While speaking, the corners of her mouth twitched, her eyes fluttered all over, and her urgent willpower was in full swing. Not much else to say, this feeling is slowly in place. It's real and real. In this way, there is no need to say anything more. In my mind, it is already as stable as Mount Tai. Fang Fan was speechless. Your dad? Broken. Judging from this, the purple-clothed girl should be the daughter of the Lord of Tianlin City. As for the Lord of Tianlin City, according to what Kathy said, he is a useless person, inhumane at all. It's just to deceive people, so I have to pretend to like beautiful women. Even, the city lord's mansion has married to the 17th house. Is this a little too much? How do you say it? Are you restless all the time because you can't get it? This is probably the case. A real batch. For a moment, Fang Fan's thoughts were confused and his brain was buzzing and trembling. The more you think about it, the deeper you feel. It is more than words. As for the other feelings of pulling the hips, it is good to gather in place silently. Not a big problem. But what the purple-clothed girl said was tantamount to giving Fang Fan an excellent excuse. In this way, all aspects will become much simpler. Consciously, it is fully stable, and there is no need to think too much. Just follow the words of the girl in purple. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3773. It's just that after entering the city lord's mansion, what if the girl in purple continues to pester her? Fang Fan exhaled a foul breath, thinking silently in his heart, his brain trembling slightly. The more you think, the messier your thoughts become, and the deeper your feelings. There are many things that will not go on in the future. Yes. My subordinates are escorting Miss Bella back home. Miss Bella, get in the car. Fang Fan smiled, and then continued to pretend to be flattering. You people are the most annoying. Snored. Bad guy. The girl in purple looked at Fang Fan, feeling increasingly disgusted. She looks pretty good too, so why is she doing so poorly? Thinking of this, the girl in purple couldn't help stretching out her foot, and then wanted to kick Fang Fan. Whoosh. Suddenly, Lena made a move and grabbed the purple-clothed girl's feet in the air, and then her eyes shone with a different kind of brilliance. For a moment, the feeling of oppression seemed very real. The girl in purple shrank her body, unable to move for a while. Lena is weak and demigod, so it is naturally different. No one can hurt the master. A cold snort came, feeling the oppression, and Lena's eyes showed killing intent. Fang Fan. It's over. It's over. It's completely over. Now it's about to be fully exposed. Why? So difficult. I originally wanted to enter Tianlin City to show off my skills. Who knew that they encountered so many obstacles at the gate of the city? Damn it! In vain. In vain. What's next? The situation collapsed immediately. Consciousness is also unsteady. Fang Fan could clearly feel the vigilant gazes of the city guard soldiers around him. What did this woman say? I did not understand. This is not the language of our Protoss. The group of foreigners. All the members of the city guard team remained vigilant, and immediately surrounded Fang Fan and others. Right now, the girl in purple is still under Lena's firm control. It's over. Okay. You guys are getting wilder and wilder now. What? Now you don't even want to offer sacrifices to those Protoss beauties to my father, and you're starting to play tricks on these alien beauties. Heh. Are there more and more flower heads? And does this alien beauty seem to care about you? What? Did you have a relationship with this alien beauty beforehand? It seems that this relationship is quite unusual. What? This is going to continue to get together. The cold snort swept across, the gesture of gnashing teeth was fully displayed. Bella, the girl in purple, bit her red lips. This brain circuit seemed very strange. Fang Fan didn't think of such a good excuse just now. I thought it was going to be completely overturned. Who knows what to hope for? Fang Fan looked at Lena and motioned for her to step back. This kind of thing should not be in the slightest. Hold on to hold everything. If you have to toss about what is there, it will only be a dead end. If you can't stabilize, you have to pull your hips completely. Lena also reacted at this moment. She was too impulsive just now. Almost made a big mistake. One misstep will cause eternal hatred. It was almost cold on the spot. In terms of belief, there must be no deviation. Hold on. Hold on. Lena let go of the girl in purple, and immediately stood beside Fang Fan, not daring to speak. At this moment, Lena felt extremely guilty, and looked at Fang Fan cowardly. Difficult to go to the blue sky. Almost, the hips were fully pulled in place. My messy heart is burning with anxiety at this moment. From the perspective of the girl in purple, Lena's gaze at Fang Fan at this moment is completely full of affection. Ah. He. Ms. Ben is right. Is it really a couple? What are you doing? Giving your own woman to my father. Let my daddy wear a cuckold. This is fun. This is fun. Bella's eyes lit up, and a look of excitement suddenly appeared on her face. If you say that, basically you won't be so sleepy. The whole body and mind are surging, and the thoughts are rushing suddenly. That feeling, that taste, can be shared with anyone. If you want to sprint in place, you must have this feeling. Feel it, do whatever you want. It doesn't feel right, and I feel my hips stretching no matter what I do. Fang Fan. A group of city guard soldiers. What the hell? What's there to get excited about? Can the sense of rhythm of our hip pull be pulled back a little bit? I can't understand it, and now I can't understand it more and more. Thousands of thoughts, confused consciousness, numbness on the spot. Wanting to say something, many words were condensed in my heart, but I couldn't say it again. Difficult. It's really difficult. This is the mayor's daughter? Sweet little padded jacket? Pure black-hearted little padded jacket? This little padded jacket doesn't keep warm either. How? You don't like it? Just do as I tell you. Snort. If you dare not to do this, I will kill you. By the way, if you guys dare to tell what happened today, Miss Ben will never let you go. When the time comes, kill all of you. The girl in purple made a gesture of wiping her neck, and she spoke with great interest. This posture, this thought, is flying in an all-round way. Excited a little too much. We didn't see anything. That's right. We don't know anything. Did we see the special envoy of the City Lord's mansion today? Did we see Miss Bella today? No. No. Where is someone? Why don't I know? Let's go. Let's go. There's no one here. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. That's right, get out of the way. The small group of city guards and soldiers looked at each other, and immediately understood. In terms of situation, comprehensive suppression. In terms of will, take off in an all-round way. They don't want to get involved in this kind of thing. Wouldn't it be good to go up and be beaten? At that time, the skull will have to be smashed open. As for whether the city lord wears a cuckold, does it have something to do with them? If they really put a cuckold on the city lord, they would only secretly feel excited. Even secretly, it can be used as a kind of talking point. At that time, I can still pretend. Don't you feel very flattered for a while? My mind is full of thoughts, my consciousness is messed up, and my whole body is in a state of ecstasy. Cool. A lot of cool. This feeling is flying straight away. There is no need to say more about the others. Bella, the girl in purple, looked at the city guards with satisfaction, and then focused her gaze on Fang Fan. Those beautiful eyes were full of cunning and excitement. This woman is dead. Don't talk about other things, just talk about this kind of psychology. Seeing your father wearing a cuckold, does your heart feel good? What do you think? The forest is so big that there are really all kinds of birds. But this is not a bad thing for Fang Fan. This girl in purple is now patronizing this matter, and will naturally be completely negligent in other matters. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3774. In this way, Fang Fan can do other things more actively. At the moment, it can be fully stabilized without any accidents. It was even possible to use the identity of the purple-clothed girl as a more secure cover. After all, this is the daughter of the city lord, who dares to stop her when she arrives at the city lord's mansion. It's a blessing in disguise. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes, thinking to himself. His eyes gradually drifted to the extreme. Some things just need to be planned slowly. This makes it more interesting. Where did you find these people? Talk to you. There are even aliens. They're all so pretty. These two women are beauties of different races. What kind of thing is that man? Ah. Couldn't this man also be offered to my father? It looks fair and clean, but it looks a little bit uncomfortable, and it has a bit of a wicked eye. The girl in purple, Bella, is just a chatterbox. Now that the chatterbox attribute has been turned on, he has started to work tirelessly. The more you talk, the more excited you are, and the more you talk, the more surging. In the words, the eyeballs rolled wildly. That kind of taste and feeling is condensed in the heart, and it seems extremely surging for a while. Fang Fan stood aside and followed. The expressionless expression on his face was beyond words. This woman's divergent thinking is really strong. In this regard, it is really impossible not to admire. It's reasonable to offer a beautiful woman to your father, but what's the matter with offering Bai Biao? Could it be that your father is as good as Long Yang? Fang Fan didn't want to chat nonsense with this woman at first, but he thought that now he had to rely on this woman to prove his identity. Fang Fan thought for a while, his eyes gradually fluttered, and he held back for a while. Can't be loitering. The matter is a bit big, and the situation must be completely collapsed and fully stabilized, and there must be no slack in the slightest. Fang Fan's eyes gradually moved forward, and everything was kept silent. Miss Bella was joking. These are the guards sent by the foreign race, mainly to protect the safety. Fang Fan talked nonsense. Alien guard. Is there anything unique about alien guards? Shouldn't the guards be all big-bodied and incomparably capable? Is he like this? This doesn't look like it. Are you fooling me? Are you fooling me? The atmosphere completely cooled down for a while. This seems like a trivial question, but if you don't understand it clearly, things will explode, and something will really happen later. Once the situation collapses, come up and do it. In front of Miss Bella, how dare you speak nonsense? A person cannot be judged by his appearance. He still has a lot of merits as a guard. Fang Fan shrugged, and then said a few words. Now I just want to hurry up and fool this shit. Fang Fan got tired of talking like this all the time. Damn it. Going back and forth, is this shit going on forever? Is that the case? It's really annoying to talk about these things here. The sense of asshole, full of gatherings. Yeah. Then what merits does he have? Say it. Say it quickly. Is he funny? You let him come over and play with me. I'm getting bored to death. Wow. The vivaciousness of the purple-clothed girl suddenly came up, and she nodded frequently while speaking, and the excitement on her face was beyond words. For a moment, the sound of breathing gathered in all directions, her thoughts were full of thoughts, and her consciousness was completely messed up. This feeling, let me tell who. It must be a lie to say that there is no feeling at all. How can it be so exciting now? Bella stared at Bai Piao, and Bai Piao shrank his neck. Suddenly he had some bad premonition. Bai Piao looked at Fang Fan again. Did this kid just sell him off? Damn it! If I sell my labor and capital, I will go up and fight with you every second. Bai Piao also couldn't understand the conversation between Fang Fan and the purple-clothed girl, and now he could only nod and bow, showing the helplessness in his heart with this gesture. Difficult to go to the blue sky. My brain is buzzing. Next, what the hell are we going to do next? Fang Fan originally thought that it would be fine to just muddle through this matter, but who knew that the purple-clothed girl would not let her go, as if she insisted on explaining the matter clearly. In fact, Fang Fan has exposed many flaws before, and normal people can actually see these flaws. But the purple-clothed girl didn't know whether she was being overwrought or just pretending. She looked like she didn't care. But no matter how nervous a person is, there are too many traces exposed in front of her, so he has to be cool. Fang Fan's gaze gathered slightly, his thoughts gradually fluttered, and everything was kept silent. Such feelings are bursting out in full force. Stab in place. Go up and do it. Forward. The characteristic of this alien guard is its invincible defense. And immune to all lightning damage. It is said that he was struck by lightning before, and after being struck by lightning, his defensive power began to skyrocket. Just as it is now. Fang Fan raised his eyebrows, and then said seriously. Seeing that it is getting closer and closer to the city lord's mansion, there can't be any moths. So we must do our best to stabilize the situation now. Invincible defense. That's fighting against beating. Can you still be immune to thunder and lightning? Oh my god. There are people like this. Fun. Fun. Interesting. I like. This is interesting. It's so interesting. The purple-clothed girl's eyes lit up, and while she was speaking, her gaze was fully raised, her thoughts swelled, and her body trembled slightly. That kind of taste and that feeling are on the top in an instant. Bella, the purple-clothed girl, immediately took out a dagger, and immediately stabbed towards Bai Piao. Bai Piao. In his eyes that didn't know why, the dagger reached his chest, but it didn't penetrate an inch. But the sprint force of this dagger is already in place. The pain suddenly invaded in an all-round way, and the brain was buzzing in an instant, with thousands of thoughts, confused consciousness, and surging mentality. Pain. Ah. Don't. Grass. What? Get out. Get out of here. Damn it. I vomit. I vomit. Go away. Go away. Boy Fang Fan, did you betray your god? Have you fallen in love with this Protoss woman again, kid? It doesn't matter if you have a big sex, you bastard, but don't take me with you. Boy Fang Fan, I see through. I see through you. Fang Fan, I won't believe anything you say in the future, Backslash. Hey. It hurts. It hurts my heart. Boy Fang Fan. Help me. This Protoss woman is crazy. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3775. Bai Biao couldn't help but start screaming. Shouts swept across, and my brains exploded completely. What kind of trouble? What kind of trouble is going on? Fang Fan was also a little dumbfounded. This purple-clothed girl, so straightforward? Anyway, it also pays attention to a strategy or something, right? Coming up is a thorn. There is something wrong with this woman's brain designation. Anyway, this woman's cultivation base is not very high, so it is unlikely that Bai Biao will be injured for the time being. And through the comprehensive testing just now, the woman saw that Bai Biao's defense was really so good, and the expression of interest on her face became more obvious, and for a while, the smile appeared very clearly. That kind of excitement is even more indescribable. How comfortable it is. Fang Fan was dumbfounded. Crazy. Crazy. Brother Bai Biao, your sacrifice is meaningful. Hold on, hold on. Fang Fan looked at Bai Biao, and cheered up. Bai Biao. Grass. Sure enough, you kid is tricking me. Damn it. I already guessed it. Hey. Just now I was still muttering in my heart. Ah. Fang Fan boy. Following you is the worst decision I have ever made in my life. Boy Fang Fan, you have spared no expense to please women. Hey. It is said that brothers are like siblings and women are like clothes, you have completely turned it upside down. Boy Fang Fan, speak quickly, speak quickly. Make this crazy woman stop. Labor and management are about to die of pain. I've lost my labor and management, I'll just blew myself up. Bai Biao's complaints were endless. At this moment, let go and roar. Seeing the purple-clothed girl getting more and more excessive, Fang Fan stepped forward and grabbed the purple-clothed girl's hand. Almost enough. Don't be too savage and willful. Fang Fan glared at the purple-clothed girl, and couldn't help but speak a little harder. The purple-clothed girl's arm was grabbed, and she seemed a little dazed for a while. Is this guy dead or alive? Don't know her identity? What do you mean? What kind of trouble do you want to make? Can we grasp the rhythm a little bit? I can't grasp the rhythm, so I just pull my hips, you know? What kind of trouble is going to happen next? Do you really have no point in your heart? You, why are you so fierce? My father has never been so cruel to me. Didn't you say that he is invincible in defense? I'm just playing around. The girl in purple bit her red lips, and there was a hint of cowardice in her tone. But this cowardly posture only lasted for a moment, and suddenly, Bella, the purple-clothed girl, came to her senses. She is Miss Dai from the City Lord's mansion. Her father is the Lord of Tianlin City. Power over one side. Isn't this Fang Fan a small guard of their City Lord's mansion? She was the majestic daughter of the City Lord's mansion, and was murdered by a small guard? At that moment, Bella, the girl in purple, even regarded Fang Fan as her father. That's why there is that feeling and posture of being wronged. But after the sudden reaction, a look of endless embarrassment suddenly appeared on his face. You are dead. How dare you kill me? I am going to kill you. No. I can't kill you. Wouldn't it be too cheap to kill you? Humph. I want to torture you. Torture you well. I want to play with you. Play with you all the time. Let you bully me. Let you bully me. Bella, the girl in purple, squinted her beautiful eyes, and a fierce light flickered in her eyes. This woman turned her face when she said she would turn her face, but there was nothing she could do. Fang Fan also showed his attitude at this moment. If you really want to do it, then do it. Big deal, just expose it. If at that time, if you can't escape, you can just hide in the small world of Shushan Pavilion. If it really comes to the last moment, no one can control it. Bella. Why are you here? A female voice came from a distance, and a slender woman came over with a trace of surprise in her tone. Fang Fan subconsciously turned his head away, and his eye sockets shrank. It's Kathy, the 17th Madam of the Lord's Mansion of Tianlin City. He was also the person Fang Fan was looking for on this trip. Sister Kathy. He bullies me. He murdered me. He is not a good thing. Sister Kathy. Help me. Help me punish her. The girl in purple, who looked very angry before, suddenly became soft at this moment, and couldn't help acting like a baby in front of Kathy. Madam 17. There was a little conflict between Miss Bella and I. This is also for the city lord. Fang Fan clarified the matter directly, which was also a reminder to Kathy. I thought that the whole situation would be overthrown, but now that there is still a slight chance of a comeback, it is natural to fully stabilize it without any turbulence. Kathy nodded silently, indicating that she understood, and at the same time, she began to plan many means in her heart. Many things that will come next need to be dealt with bit by bit, like peeling off cocoons. Oh, so it's you. Bella, this is my friend. Bella, are you bullying others again? In Tianlin City, who would dare to bully you? It must be you, the little girl, who is wicked, and complained first. It's not easy for them to do business, so don't worry about it with them. Kathy smiled, and immediately began to make peace. Fang Fan lowered his head and didn't say anything for a while. He just wanted to get rid of this matter as soon as possible. It was very safe to enter Tianlin City, and everything was not troublesome, but who knew that a daughter of the city lord, Bella, would come out on the way? I didn't read the almanac this time when I went out. It is getting more and more troublesome to deal with this matter. Fang Fan secretly squinted his eyes. His mind was full of thoughts, his consciousness was chaotic, and all kinds of feelings gathered together. Ah! Sister Kathy, he is your friend. How come? This kind of person is the most despicable and shameless. Just flattering. Sister Kathy, do you know? This guy brought those two women to feed my father. One of them is still flirting with him, and wants to cuckold my dad. This guy is not a good thing. Sister Kathy, you have to see his true face clearly. Sister Kathy, you can't be deceived by him. This kind of person is the most scheming, and if you are not careful, you may fall into his tricks. Sister Kathy, you must be careful. Sister Kathy. Bella, the girl in purple, looked aggrieved at the moment, and immediately began to attack Fang Fan in an all-round way. The 17th wife of the city lord, Kathy, couldn't help but give Fang Fan a blank look. It seems to be saying, how on earth did you toss this little ant to make her what she is now? With this appearance and posture, I can't wait to press it directly. The posture is vividly displayed. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3776. The girl in purple, Bella, is just a mess, but there is one thing that is okay, that is, she is more obedient to Kathy. Kathy calmed down for a while, and her emotions gradually stabilized. Sister Kathy, I'm doing this for your sake, otherwise, I wouldn't have spared him today. Humph. This guy shouldn't be too hateful. To deal with this kind of guy, you must be reprimanded. Sister Kathy, don't spare him. Sister Kathy, I'm going back first. If I see him next time, I will definitely teach this chaos a lesson. Bella, the purple-clothed girl, couldn't help showing a menacing look on her face while she was talking, and her eyes flickered wildly towards her surroundings as she spoke. This time the posture is in place, and everything is silent. Real, and real. Probably such a very appropriate feeling. After the purple-clothed girl left, Kathy breathed a sigh of relief. Come with me. Kathy led the way, and then she came to a box in a remote shop, and she relaxed her vigilance a little. How did you provoke Bella? How did you come back? Come here this time, what are you going to do? Who are they? You've only been away for a few days, why did you come back? Kathy looked at Chu Ceci and Lena. Between women, directness is very sensitive. At this moment, some hostility gradually emerged in each other's eyes. His eyes trembled and flickered, everything was silent. At least the way it unfolded at the moment seemed obvious. A day without seeing each other is like 3 autumns. In this way, it has been several years in the past few days. So I miss my little Kathy very much, so I came back to have a look. How? My little Kathy, won't you let me come back? The corners of Fang Fan's mouth raised slightly, showing an evil smile. The atmosphere right now is too rigid. It is necessary to choose an appropriate method to suppress this embarrassment a little bit. Otherwise, if it continues like this, who can stand it? Invisibly, the melon seeds in my head are buzzing. This time, let me tell someone more about my feelings. You are still as glib as before. Just like you, are you really a true god? Kathy still remembered that Fang Fan had been showing her that he was the real god before. It is also because of this that Fang Fan was able to gain the initial trust of Kathy, which led to the subsequent gradual development. A man's mouth, a deceitful ghost. It's the same even if it's a true god. Snort. I've seen it through. Kathy couldn't help gritting her teeth, and muttered to the side. Even if you are a true god, you have to be impressed by Mrs. Kathy's beauty. Fang Fan said something casually. Fang Fan found that something was wrong with his current state. I have always liked flowers on my lips. Is it because his essence is the same now, or because after seeing Kathy, he couldn't help but say these words because his heart was surging? Fang Fan groaned, and couldn't help raising his eyes slightly upwards. Anxious heart, let alone tell anyone, everything is silent. Do you see it? Kid Fang Fan's eyes turned red when he saw this little lover. Why? This kid is a bastard who forgets his righteousness. Although I can't understand what this guy is saying, I can guess it from his expression and posture. Now it must be showing great courtesy to the lady of the city lord. Oh shit. I have never seen such a brazen man. Fang Fan, I am completely convinced. To deal with women, this kid definitely has a way. Did you see the wife of the city lord? Although she looked angry, she didn't know how happy she was in her heart. Hey. It's a pity that I can't understand Protoss, otherwise I would have to run this bastard to death. Just now, in order to curry favor with that purple-clothed girl, I was taken out to entertain others. Hey. No more love. I see through this kid, it's too clear. Bai Piao muttered, and couldn't help complaining all over the place. While speaking, his lips were humming, and his brain was buzzing. It is more than words. The taste here is extremely messy. The more I think about it, the more uncomfortable I feel. Do you dare to slander the master? Lena glanced over and was about to make a move. Bai Piao. Oh shit. Has the literary inquisition started now? I can't even say it. Too difficult. Almost suffocated. If this goes on, sooner or later, the mentality will collapse completely. Thinking of this, my brain has already exploded. Nothing. Play. It's just a joke. Snort. It can be seen that the husband really cares about the wife of the city lord. I don't know what interesting things my husband and the wife of the city owner are talking about. It can make this glamorous lady of the city lord extremely ashamed. Chu Sisi looked at Fang Fan, and couldn't help wrapping Fang Fan's arm in her arms, then pressed it against her chest and kept it still. It seems that they want to declare their sense of belonging in this way. A woman's heart, a sea needle. Most of the time, you can't figure it out. Never know what is hidden in this heart. It's just that when you feel it, it's always so surprising. Unfathomable, indeed unfathomable. It is more than words. Who is she? Is she your woman? She looks very hostile to me. Kathy, the 17th lady of Tianlin City Lord, frowned, then stared at Chu Sisi. Not to be outdone, Chu Sisi also stared back. Now Fang Fan has one head and two big ones. I thought that these women wouldn't make any fools because of the language barrier, but now it seems that he was wrong. Even if it's a language barrier, you still have to do what you should do. Anyway, this attitude must be displayed from beginning to end. The oppressive sense of sprint should not be too real. For a moment, he was completely numb. As if not knowing what to say. This situation is a headache. Fang Fan can only switch back and forth between normal language and Protoss language now. Then go and answer those miscellaneous questions. Too tired? Wait first. Come one by one. No hurries. What is there to worry about? Call. Sit down and talk slowly. Fang Fan shook his head, his face was dark at the moment, he just wanted to suppress the situation. Continue to be so anxious, who the hell can bear it? I came here this time to check on the situation. By the way, the inner treasury of the city lord's mansion has not been rebuilt. Fang Fan looked at Kathy and gradually got into the topic. Play for fun, make trouble for trouble, but what needs to be done still needs to be done. Especially this matter also involves his overall development. Godstone fragments, he wants more Godstone fragments. Fang Fan set his sights on the inner treasury of the city lord's mansion. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3777. Etc. What do you mean? You still want to loot the inner treasury of the city lord's mansion a second time? Oh my god. You don't want to live anymore. It's a fluke for us to succeed for the first time. Ever since the first looting of the city lord's mansion, that old Cassius went into a rage and raised the defense of the inner vault to the highest level. It's too difficult to start now. Kathy shook her head, standing at her point of view, rushing forward again now is tantamount to a dead end. Just did it once, do you want to do it again? When people are really fools. Now maybe they are setting up a trap, waiting for you to come and die. Don't hurry to evade now, and rush to die. Does this mean that you really feel that you are living too comfortably? Just tell me if the inner library of the city lord's mansion has been rebuilt. Also, are there any fragments of the sacred stone in the inner vault of the city lord's mansion? What I want is the fragments of the god stone. This is the most important thing. As for the existence of some dangers, I have considered all these, but I must carry on. Kathy, would you like to help me? Fang Fan looked at Kathy with a trace of sincerity in his eyes. According to what she said, this Kathy was originally a princess from a midtown city of the Protoss, Syracuse. Later, Syracuse was destroyed by Tianlin City, and she stayed with Cassius, the lord of Tianlin City, for revenge. In order to achieve this goal, he has been lurking for many years. Such spirit and perseverance are there, to be honest, it is still very admirable. The reason why Fang Fan was able to loot the inner treasury of the Tianlin City Lord's mansion last time was naturally due to Kathy. If it wasn't for her help, Fang Fan wouldn't even be able to figure out the location, Not to mention there were 2 weak demigod-level guards at the time. The previous looting of the inner treasury of the city lord's mansion was considered a small part of Kathy's revenge plan, so it was reasonable for her to be willing to help. But this time, it would be unreasonable to ask others to help. People have already done everything that should be done. Fang Fan squinted his eyes secretly, his mind was full of thoughts, his consciousness was messy, and various thoughts in his mind became more and more. Me. It's not something I'm willing to help, but, I really can't do it. I can't just watch you die. Can't. No way. I don't want you to go. Kathy looked at Fang Fan, couldn't help standing on tiptoe, and kissed him directly. You don't know how I survived these days. My mind is full of your shadow. You have already taken root in my heart. You just said that seeing each other every day is like 3 autumns. I don't know if what you said is true or false, but I can be sure that my feelings are absolutely true. The me now is completely, the feeling of not seeing each other every day. Kathy looked at Fang Fan, and kissed Fang Fan's lips frantically while talking. Fang Fan stood where he was, looking a little confused for a while. I am CAO. Forced kiss? This sense of rhythm is a bit strong. The brain is also buzzing. Fang Fan felt Kathy's true feelings. Hiss. Is this the beginning? Wipe. Are you not shy at all? We're still watching. You really don't treat me like an outsider. Fang Fan, you're the best kid. How can ordinary people dare to be as handsome as you, kid? Damn it. You really have no scruples. Too strong, too strong. What the hell, it's really impossible to refuse. In front of your wives, how dare you be so intimate with a third confidant? Hey. Fang Fan boy, I have to say, I really envy you. If a F***ing man can achieve your level, it's worth it. You even say, isn't this F***ing blood money? Boy Fang Fan, you are a role model for my envoy. Bai Piao's envious eyeballs were about to fly away, while talking, his lips were crazily murmuring, his brain was buzzing, everything was in silence. Such a taste, wandering crazily in the bottom of my heart, this feeling is particularly strange. For a moment, his eyes drifted away, and he didn't know how to express it at all. So hard, so hard. Compared with Fang Fan, his life is simply a sad one. People cannot be compared. This comparison will definitely lead to some problems, and even a big fight directly. Shameless. You can't hold it anymore. Snort. Husband, no wonder you can't let go of the madam of the city lord of the Protoss. What? Just can't let go of her charm and initiative. You men, don't you all like this kind of flirting? The same as you. Scumbag. This is the scumbag. Chu Ceci gritted her teeth, and couldn't help but began to complain all over. Lena blinked, still loyally guarding Fang Fan's side. For her, everything else is not important, the owner's safety is the most important. It is better than anything else to obey the master's will at all times. It is with this crazy will as the cornerstone that he can understand everything that follows. About there are still people. Fang Fan raised his eyebrows, and then stopped Kathy's further crazy actions. If this continues, I still don't know what the fuss will be like. Enthusiasm. What's wrong? What's wrong with someone? Doesn't this prevent us from being intimate? Or, you no longer feel facing me in your heart? The reason why you were close to me before was to use me. Now I feel that I have been used up, so I can leave it aside. Are you the legendary scumbag? Kathy, the 17th wife of Tianlin City's lord, blinked her eyes. While talking, the stubbornness on her face was beyond words. Anyway, she felt more and more uncomfortable in her heart now. Scumbag. A scumbag at every turn. How can there be so many scumbags in this world? Fang Fan has now discovered that these women seem to have formed a unified consciousness now, and they like to talk about scumbags. Then no matter what happens, I will label you a scumbag when you come up. The point is, as for this playing around, this brain is about to shatter. Why? I'm not a scumbag. At least not in the legend. I came here this time because I really have important things to deal with. The most important thing is to search for a batch of God stone fragments. If Tianlin City can't do it, you can only choose to go to other cities. Are there any Protoss cities around Tianlin City? Fang Fan squinted his eyes, his thoughts were flowing and his thoughts were rushing. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3778. No. You can't go to other Protoss cities. If you are in Tianlin City, I can take care of you a little bit. You went to other cities, and I can't help even if I want to. Let me think, you let me think. Kathy bit her red lips, her eyes gradually became distracted, and she fell into a comprehensive thought. It is more than words. Now the defense of the inner warehouse of the City Lord's mansion is very tight. Before it was guarded by 2 quasi-demigods, but now it is already 2 weak demigods. Those are 2 weak demigods. How to deal with it? 2 quasi-demigods, we can still rely on means to fight against a wave. 2 weak demigods, there is no chance at all, no chance at all. The road ahead is already there, and it has been fully locked. Even if I want to help you, but I'm powerless. I am as good as the sky, and I can deal with a weak demigod. Kathy frowned, and couldn't help sighing while talking. All kinds of thoughts in my heart are gathered in my heart, the more I think, the more my feelings become flying. It is more than words. For a while, his thoughts gradually became chaotic. My brain is buzzing, I don't know how to express it. It seemed difficult for a while. Confused. What is going on? Too difficult. Beside me, there is also a weak demigod. If you can grasp it well, you may not fail to become famous. This is an excellent opportunity for us. However, how many fragments of the sacred stone are there in the inner vault of the City Lord's mansion? Fang Fan's eyeballs were booming, what he cared about was still this. Tossing and tossing, this is the purest inner feeling. My mind is full of thoughts, and my eyes are trembling crazily. Stimulate. So exciting. You don't have to worry about this. The current treasury of the City Lord's mansion is the former treasury of the Tianlin City mansion. Because the inner treasury of the City Lord's mansion was looted, that old fellow Cassius learned his lesson. I was afraid that the treasury of Tianlin City would also be looted, so he ordered people to move all the treasures in the treasury of Tianlin City to the City Lord's mansion. In the library? That is to say, the inventory in the current City Lord's mansion is 3 points more abundant than before. You just said that there is a weak demigod beside you. Who? Who? Could it be yourself? Have you recovered to the weak demigod level combat power? It looks like you. Are you going to step into the realm of false gods soon? At that time, the void will be shattered, and you will leave here completely. If this is the case, it's over, it's over. Call. Are we going to be separated forever? Kathy pursed her red lips, her eyes fluttered all over while speaking, her whole person was godlike, and it was difficult for her to accept her fantasy situation for a while. Seeing Kathy's sudden temperament change, Fang Fan was stunned. This women's imaginative ability is really powerful. This thing is really a gender advantage, and it's impossible to refuse. You think too much. Cough. It's not so easy for me to be promoted. I mean her. Her name is Lena. Fang Fan looked at Lena, and then introduced it to Kathy. Of course, the two women didn't understand each other's language, So talking or something was unnecessary, just showing their faces and nodding their heads was enough. Lena. Is it your woman again? You have provoked quite a few beauties. Kathy gave Fang Fan a white look. At this time, she knew something about Fang Fan's nature. Seems like there's no restraint in this regard. Is she? Sure she can. As long as there is an accident, we will all die. That old guy Cassius is in the Castellan's mansion. What happened last time has made him vigilant enough. If he finds out this time, we will all die, and we will all die. Kathy bit her red lip, looking a little excited at the moment. Probably a very complicated mood, wanting to do something, but afraid of some accidents. But things have come to this time, and it is obviously too late to back down. All he could do at the moment was to grit his teeth, gasp for breath and sprint forward frantically. This road has been fully established here from the very beginning. The matter has come to this point, it is useless to say more, it can only be carried out in such a comprehensive way. The other ones are nothing, of course, needless to say, they are nothing. I know. So we have to be more careful. Absolutely must not reveal any flaws. The appearance of any flaw may be the time of our death. Plan well, must plan well. Use everything you can use. By the way, that Bella is Cassius' daughter? Why does she listen to you so much? Fang Fan looked at Kathy and asked suddenly. Bella? Bella's mother died a long time ago. Don't look at her temperament is a bit volatile, she is not a bad child. You can talk to me, and you like to come and play with me. Although I hate that old thing Cassius, this hatred has nothing to do with Bella. Huh? No, why did you suddenly ask me this? I almost forgot, how did you get involved with Bella? Now ask me about Bella again, could it be that you fell in love with Bella? You, how can you do this? Bella, she's just a kid. Can you change your problem? Don't you just want to have it when you see a pretty girl? I know that all of you men yearn for the life of 3 wives and 4 concubines. If you have the ability, I have no objection, but isn't 3 wives and 4 concubines enough? You, what are you going to do? On the side, Kathy couldn't help but muttered. Anyway, now I feel that Fang Fan is really nothing. It's gaudy, the sense of rhythm stretches the hips to the extreme. Now Fang Fan's image has been completely destroyed. Everyone felt that Fang Fan was the kind of skittish, half-hearted man. Why? Didn't even understand him. These women are very superficial. Are you finished? You really think too much? Not so. I just think that if this Bella is the daughter of the Lord of Tianlin City, it might be of some use to us. Fang Fan fumbled for the position of his jaw, with a thoughtful look on his face. Effect. What can it do? Don't mess around. Your identity cannot be seen. If Bella checks your existence, you won't be able to stay in Tianlin City any longer. At that time, even I will have to eat melons. I don't care about other things, but Bella must not take advantage of it. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3779. Kathy gritted her teeth, then said stubbornly. This is his bottom line. In any case, this bottom line cannot be broken. I'm just talking casually, don't get excited. When the time comes when you enter the inner treasury of the City Lord's mansion, can you lead your 2 weak demigods out in the name of the City Lord? You'd better lead me to my small world. As long as they enter my small world, they will surely die. There will be no movement at that time. Can it be done? Fang Fan narrowed his eyes, tapped his hand slightly, thinking to himself, his thoughts were completely messed up. They won't listen to my orders. My 17th lady is meaningless in the eyes of these people. Unless you can get the warrant of the city lord, and then add my identity, there will be no problem. But I have no access to the warrant of the city lord. Kathy shook her head, and fell into a dilemma again. Sitting on the chair, Fang Fan felt inexplicably that his head was like a paste. All kinds of thoughts in my head seemed extremely messy, but I just couldn't find a direction to vent. Is it okay to fake one? This token shouldn't be difficult to forge, right? You have seen this token, and you can forge one, it must be fine. Fang Fan's eyes lit up, and he said directly. Fake. Warrant tokens with similar shapes are naturally available. But there is an aura belonging to the city lord on the token. This is the breath of a strong demigod. Too hard to fake. Kathy shook her head, but this way was blocked. Neither this nor that. It seems that all avenues are blocked. This is playing with a hammer? Every road is blocked, it's like a joke. For a moment, his eyes drifted away and he didn't know what to say. Numb. It's really numb now? They come, the security. It's not that difficult to forge the breath of the supreme demigod. I can even fake the breath of a true god, let alone this one. That's not a problem. Anyway, we've come to this point, no matter how bad it is, we have to give it a try. Just follow this plan. First forge a warrant of the city lord, for the forgery of the city lord's breath, I will come. Fang Fan exhaled a foul breath, his eyes trembled, he thought to himself, and his thoughts gradually spread out. It is more than words. The next game will always be broken. Hey, I knew I couldn't persuade you. Now that we've reached this point, there's nothing we can do about it. I can only follow you for a while. If this is exposed, I will follow you out. You don't want to leave me anyway. Kathy looked at Fang Fan tenderly, while speaking, her lips turned up slightly, and her eyes shone with a special kind of brilliance. I have recognized a man in this life, and it is difficult for this recognition to fade away in a short time. Excited heart, trembling hands, everything is going side by side. You were originally mine. Why should I leave you? Fang Fan shrugged and smiled silently. Although he sometimes does not have a good grasp of his body, but since he has done something, he has to bear the corresponding responsibility. This Fang Fan never refused. Boom. Boom boom boom. Beep beep. In the surrounding area, there was a burst of noise from outside, the noise was about to crush the brain, the vision was slack, the consciousness collapsed, everything was in silence. What's the situation? Why is it such a mess outside? Good guy. This is definitely coming to arrest us. Hey. What the hell, it's still exposed after all. Damn it. We're going to be unlucky. The woman in purple must have betrayed us. I've seen it for a long time, this woman is not a good thing. She stabbed me with a dagger at that time. Grass. The more I think about it, the angrier I get. Dog. I'm so mad. Bai Biao muttered, the sound of spitting was surging, and his brain was buzzing. Some of the others didn't even talk about a hammer. It is true that things must be dealt with quickly. Fang Fan squinted his eyes and frantically scanned the surroundings. He didn't dare to underestimate him at this moment. If he was a little careless, his life might be stranded in it. Under such circumstances, who would dare to slack off easily? Hold on to control everything. Willpower, but also to persist. Persevere fully. Suppress. 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 Master, I will escort you out. Get out. Lena took out her weapon and was ready to fight to the death. At this time, there is no need to talk about other things, you have to do it. It's time to fight. What is there to say in bits and pieces? You must have the courage to fight to the end. Don't be so special and pull your hips when the time comes. No need. Kathy, your identity is sensitive, you go out first. Fang Fan looked at Kathy, preparing to cover his retreat. Etc. Take it easy. This seems to be the warning sound of the first level of combat readiness. If it's really here to arrest you, how can it be possible to use the first level alarm? Stay here and don't move around, I'll go out and have a look. Kathy narrowed her eyes, then walked out. Boy Fang Fan, what's the situation with this woman? Why did you leave first? I am CAO. Could it be that you're running away? Boy Fang Fan, this can't be done. Hurry up, hurry up. Hurry up and go out with this woman. Boy Fang Fan. Bai Biao muttered, and suddenly looked nervous. While speaking, his eyes frantically tested his surroundings, his heart swelled, his thoughts were completely messed up, his mind was buzzing, and many words were completely silent. I don't know what to say. It's messed up, completely messed up. Husband, you must be defensive. Why don't we go first? It's not safe here. Chu Sisi also looked nervous. Calm down, everyone. Wait for Kathy to come back. She won't hurt me. Kathy said that this is the warning sound of Tianlin City's first level combat readiness. The first level combat equipment is used to catch us? Why is this? Maybe something happened in Tianlin City. If there is any trouble in Tianlin City, it will indeed be a good thing for us. In this way, we can take advantage of this opportunity to kill. At that time, our money-raising plan will be able to proceed smoothly. Fang Fan nodded silently, a look of anticipation could not help but appear on his face at this moment. Either way, it's a good thing right now. The key lies in how this matter should be handled. As long as you grasp it well, the benefits will not be less. I just don't know what happened in Tianlin City. Fang Fan looked at the door and waited silently. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3780. Oh. Almost forgot about this. As long as it is a woman who has fallen into your hands, it seems that none of them have betrayed. It's really weird. What kind of magic did you use to make these women obey? There's something. You're good, boy, you're really good. Bai Biao's eyes lit up, although she couldn't help but sigh with emotion. This guy likes to say weird things from time to time. A few minutes later, Kathy came back with a solemn look on her face. Problem occurs. Shenzhou Huangji City joined forces with Disha City to attack Tianlin City. This Disha City and Huangji City are both the upper cities of the Protoss. The overall strength is not much worse than that of Tianlin City. Gathering together now, Tianlin City may not be able to hold on. Fang Fan, I think we should evacuate here quickly. It's too dangerous here. Once the city is broken and the troops of Huangji City and Disha City enter Tianlin City, we will be in prison. While Kathy was talking, there was a hint of joy on her face. If Tianlin City is forced, Cassius, the lord of Tianlin City, will definitely die. Wouldn't her revenge plan be completely successful by then? Although I didn't do it myself, it's a great thing anyway. All of a sudden, the whole thought fluttered in an all-round way. At the moment when the mind was rushing, the gaze gradually became longer and the look of joy on the face was beyond words. Escape? No. Now this is a godsend. If Tianli City does not become chaotic, this matter is really difficult to deal with. But if Tianlin City is in chaos, then our next move will be easier. Tianlin City is in the first level of battle preparation, and is surrounded by the troops of Disha City and Huangji City. As a result, the city lord's mansion must be empty. It's easier to loot the treasury of the city lord's mansion. There were indeed many concerns before, but now it seems that these concerns have disappeared completely. Steady your mind and move forward steadily. This is the most important thing. Fang Fan squinted his eyes secretly, thinking to himself, all kinds of thoughts burst out in an all-round way, and everything was silent. Ah! You want to win in chaos. But the risk factor has increased. What if there are some accidents? This, Huangji City and Disha City are not easy to mess with. Once the city is broken. Kathy looked at Fang Fan with a look of exhaustion on her face. This is no small matter. Once the situation is unstable, the overall situation will be followed by a full-fledged crotch. It's not trivial, it's definitely not trivial. Need a sprint. A dash is needed. This is the most important thing. If you are too conservative, you may be so cold before you take a few steps forward. The city is broken. How likely do you think this is? If Tianlin City is so easy to break through, can it be regarded as the upper city of the Protoss? Can it stand among the Protoss for so long? I just came, can Tianlin City be destroyed? Kathy, ask yourself, what are the chances? Fang Fan looked at Kathy with a trace of calm in his eyes. Kathy opened her mouth and was speechless for a while. It was really impulsive just now. The restless heart has been impulsive, but in the end, it can only fall into infinite silence. This matter is not easy to deal with, it is really not easy to deal with. Kathy hoped too much that Tianlin City could collapse in an instant, so she didn't think too much about it. But thinking about it this time, how can such a city that has stood for millions of years collapse so easily? The probability is less than 10%. It was indeed that I was too eager to hope just now. I want revenge so much. So, let's go according to your plan. The treasures stored in the treasury of the current city lord's mansion are basically the treasures of the Tianlin City treasury. If it is looted, it will be a major blow to Tianlin City. The next battle between them will be even more difficult. Can it be regarded as accelerating the decline of Tianlin City? Revenge, I want revenge. Invisibly, it is equivalent to helping me take revenge. Kathy raised her head, and her body trembled slightly as she spoke. Excited heart, trembling hands, everything is surging. It was as if he wanted to destroy everything in front of him completely. Walking out the door, there was chaos outside, with soldiers everywhere. On both sides of the road, instead of showing any sense of panic, the Protoss civilians screamed excitedly. War! 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 Kill without mercy! Kill without mercy! Go to the battlefield! Bloody battle! The noise was endless. For these civilians, this moment is actually a time worthy of admiration, infiltrating it wholeheartedly, and then they will be followed by a full-scale stab. After the thrust is in place, the situation in front of you will be completely torn apart. No one can grasp the rhythm in the restless moment. The sense of madness is sweeping again. The Protoss is indeed a magical race. At critical moments, all the people are soldiers. They seem to have a natural yearning for war and fighting in their bones. It's such a crazy situation to look forward to all the time. Heh, you can't help it? You can't help it? The Allied forces must not slack off in the fight against the Protoss. Even if we achieve a temporary victory, it will only be temporary after all. Want to last? Difficult, extremely difficult. Fang Fan shook his head, thinking to himself, the picture in front of him seemed to be being cut apart bit by bit. It is more than words. With Kathy leading the way, there wasn't much trouble along the way. It seemed that he was about to fly to the Tianlin City Lord's mansion. At this moment, an army flew past from the side. Why do I feel like I saw a foreigner, that foreigner? Riding on the dragon horse, Talha, the third-rank god general of Tianlin City, suddenly trembled, and then couldn't help but look around. Fang Fan also felt the existence of this Talha, his face turned aside, and then he hugged Lena next to him in his arms, trying to let Lena cover up as much as possible. The sudden outburst of action left the surrounding girls stunned. Lena wanted to struggle subconsciously, but found that she was in Fang Fan's arms at the moment, and immediately calmed down. Her heart suddenly jumped up and down. Restless heart, let alone talk to anyone. Excited, surging, nothing can be added. Fang Fan, you are too hungry, right? No matter how urgent you are, don't do this on the street. And there are so many people watching. What a mess the scene is. Or, do you like this one? Bai Piao muttered, and then called out again.